Good news. The good news is that you're locked onto Classic in the morning time. Yeah, that's good news too. Because we're with you anywhere and everywhere. So don't you dare switch that dial. Nice. So how are we doing this morning? How are we doing? How is everything? How is everybody this morning? Everybody all right? I do hope so. Yeah. Nice. Good news, Innocent. God woke up this morning. God woke us up this morning. So says Catherine Phillip. Good morning to you, Catherine. How are you doing? I hope you are well. Morning, Petlin and the posse out there in Munich in St. Andrew. Yeah. Nice. Auntie Joan, how are you doing? Susan and everybody. The wonderful folks inside of Telescope in St. Andrew, good morning. Yep. I want to say a very special good morning to Commissioner Nichols of the His Majesty's Prison. Good morning to you, sir. You've got a big event coming up tomorrow, the inaugural awards ceremony of the prisons to be held at the Trade Center Annex. Yeah, that's nice. That's good. Good initiative. Want to say good morning to my brother from another mother, Davis Galston. How you doing, bro? And all the residents, I don't call them inmates, the residents at His Majesty's Prisons Transformational Center. Folks, something that touched me this morning, I was looking at the obituaries and I'm seeing so many young people, man. What's up with this? Hey, folks, be careful. Know your health status. Check the doctors, regularly. When I say regularly, make it part of your agenda. Once every 6 months or so, visit your physician. Know what's happening on the inside. Don't be told, oh, you came too late when you start having aches and pains. Yeah, so many people under 50 going. What's happening? All right, let's get into the meat of the matter for this morning. And of course, what we do at this time is that we have the word of the day at 25 minutes on to 7. That's the time, yes? And the word of the day today is a strange word. It's, it's a kind of funny word, but it's spelled in a kind of way and it's pronounced in a kind of way and it means a kind of thing. The word for the day is the word eleemosynary. Eleemosynary. It is spelled ELEEMOSYNARY. It is an adjective and it means of relating to or supported by charity. Eleemosynary. An adjective, yeah? And we can use that word this way. She used her inheritance to establish and fund several eleemosynary institutions. She used her inheritance to establish and fund several eleemosynary institutions. That's benevolence. Yeah, good morning to all the spiritual people. The Christians, the Muslims, whatever religion. I have lost hope and faith in religion. I believe in that personal relationship. Of course, Pastor Laurie out there, the New Testament Church of God in Westerhall, you and the congregation, good morning. Couldn't make it to the open air session last night at Mardi Gras, but I hope it went well. I know the good news was disseminated, was shared. I hope that you found receptive hearts and minds and lives were transformed. That's the mission, yeah? So good morning to you. Nice. Bishop George Fletcher, good morning also, the entire family. And the extended congregation, good morning. Pastor Dave King and family, good morning, good morning, good morning. Nice. All right, let's see. What's the thought of the day? The thought of the day. Sometimes you have to eat your words, chew your ego, swallow your pride, and accept that you are wrong. It's not giving up. It is called growing up. Yeah, we have a lot of old folks, old in age, but they've not grown up. I'm quick to say sorry. Yeah, sorry, I'm sorry, I made a mistake. It's all part of growing up. Good morning, Corinth. How is Corinth doing this morning? The folks in the Mohai. Good morning, Fen and family. Miss Murray said, don't call my name on the radio. So, Miss Murray, I'm not calling your name, but good morning. Good morning to you. Bonsoir. Bonjour or bonsoir? I don't know. Buenos dias. Ni hao. Guten Morgen. Ah, boy, I could speak languages, boy. What? Okay, folks, you know the independence celebration is in the air. It's, as a matter of fact, it's in its climax stage. Yeah, our 49th anniversary of independence, in inverted commas, you know, and the theme is the journey to 50, reflecting on the past, planning for the future. So many activities around the place. Yeah, communities are coming together to clean up and beautify. That's a good initiative. Yeah, very good. We also have this Friday, that's tomorrow night, the final of the Independence Calypso competition. 9 artists come up against the reigning monarchs, or serpent, Sean Niles. How you doing, Papi? How you do? You ready for them, eh? I'm betting on Big J. Yeah, bat long. Yeah, next year 50 not out. I like this. I love the selection to the core. Not forgetting, folks, the 473 Colors boat ride. It's happening Saturday, this Saturday the 4th, aboard the Rum Runner 2. Yeah, you can get your tickets from Chucky's Bar or online or go to Fet or any member of the Hot 98 FM staff members. Come up to GBN and get your tickets, man. Check Janelle. Janelle is going to set you up right. Don't miss it. It's going to be epic. Remember that. Yeah. I can't wait to see Donnell Bossa dance, boy. All right, what's buzzing quickly? New cabinet secretary, Miss Carvelette, my good friend. Carvel, good morning. Good morning to your pops, your entire family. How are you doing? All right, congratulations to you. All right, Carvel has been appointed to the post of Secretary of Cabinet with effect from January 30th, 2023. She comes to the position with extensive public service experience, having served diligently in various capacities over her 30-year career, including Deputy Comptroller at the Grenada Customs and Excise Division and Program Coordinator at the Division of Culture. Most recently, Ms. Lett held the position of Acting Permanent Secretary with responsibility for national security, home affairs, information, and disaster management. Ms. Lett holds a Master's of Business degree in Administration from the St. George's University and a diploma in General Management from the University of the West Indies. Now, the Office of the Prime Minister welcomes Ms. Lett and assures her of the office's full support in her new position. Ms. Lett replaces Ms. Ruth Elizabeth Rouse, who served in the position from January 6, 2020 to January 29, 2023. My good friend Carvel. Pearl, good morning. How are you doing? Yeah, you know, I mean, 30 years of service, that's a lot. Could you imagine? I think we started teaching around the same time. Yeah, boy, wow. Okay, also buzzing, we see the removal of derelict vehicles at Old Wester Hall in St. David. You see the trucks, you know, with the cranes lifting the vehicles and going away. If your vehicle have been tagged, please remove them before they are forcefully done. That, you know? Yeah, so do that. All right, also on the sister Isle of Kiariaku, congratulations to Farmer Gerard John, who was awarded for his contribution to the agricultural sector as part of the independence activities on the sister Isle. Gerard, affectionately known as Slaughter, is following in the footsteps of his dad, Joseph John, a well-known farmer in Carriacou, along with his grandfather and other family members who have dabbled a bit in agriculture. This young man has his own poultry farm, supplying eggs and meat to his markets, also plants a variety of crops, and also has a bit of livestock, such as sheep and goats. Papi, I want 2 goats, all right? Yeah, I want 2 good breeder goats. All right, he was among 10 people who were awarded. If I'm not mistaken, I think he's the guy that he did this song together with Lava Man. I's a man, I do play, boy. You know, I think so. All right, some sad news. One woman is dead after the car she was driving went over a cliff on the Grenadine island of Bakeway. The accident occurred on Tuesday, January 31st in Industry. A release from the Royal St. Vincent and the Grenadines Police Force said the victim is 63-year-old Elizabeth Watt Simpson, who operates a business with her husband on Bakeway. According to the release, Watt Simpson, an American, was driving a white Daihatsu motor vehicle along the Spring Industrial Estate Public Road to Port Elizabeth when it went over an embankment. Emergency responders pulled the lifeless body from the vehicle after noon. A post-mortem examination is expected to be carried out on the body to ascertain the exact cause of death, police said in the release. Watt Simpson's death marks the first road fatality in St. Vincent and the Grenadines for the year 2023. All right, also buzzing this morning, Brenda Waterley forbidden from practicing law here in Grenada. Waterley was expelled from practice late last year. The announcement was made by a sitting High Court judge and also president of the Grenada Bar Association, Derek Sylvester, explained the extent of her expulsion. I think we might, maybe, is that so? All right, what's buzzing? One of the stories I want us to look at this morning, the need for a review of school facilities is being underscored by a principal in the south of the island. He spoke with a newsroom about the problem and how he is trying to be creative to ensure learning is not hindered. Yeah? All right, so that's buzzing also. And the government is laying out strategies in an attempt to stop the bleeding of the human resources in the health sector. I think these are the 2 stories we are going to look at this morning, stopping the brain drain and overpopulated schools. But you know, as usual, we can talk about almost anything. Folks, I'm out of time. We've got to run. All right, we've got to run. We have to head into the AM edition of News, Sports, and the Weather. See you on the flip side. Those of you on the television, we've got a rebroadcast of last evening's television news. Stick and stay with us.
When you need someone to help you to your feet, I'll be that beacon to your highest peak. Oh, I'll be right next to you, no, I will never leave. Come on, take my hands, we got everything we need. Cause you can look to me, yes, I can. Whenever you're in need, yes, you can. Just call on me and I'll be on my way. I'll be by your side, never to divide, to light that shines our way. Wherever you road leads, we'll make your dreams come true. Next side, next side, next side, next to yours.
Nexa Credit Union, with you wherever your road leads.
At 7. Brenda Waterley has been forbidden from practicing law here in Grenada. Waterley has been expelled from the practice late last year. The announcement was made by a sitting High Court judge, and president of the Grenada Bar Association, Derek Sylvester, explained the extent of her expulsion.
Waterley was expelled from practice late last year. The announcement was made by a sitting High Court judge. President of the Grenada Bar Association, Derek Sylvester, explains the extent of her expulsion.
The public is aware One of our colleagues was disbarred from practicing pursuant to an order of the court, and there's a written judgment to that effect. The person in the name of Brenda Wardali. That person cannot practice law, and I've spoken to the registrar, and I was reliably informed that no document has been filed or will be accepted from her or her office in relation to the practice of law.
The public should be aware that her services will not be recognized by a court of law.
Persons have raised the issue that she is still practicing, but if that is indeed the case, then a formal report can be filed with the General Legal Counsel or the attorney who has the judgment. He can file an action in the court because it is tantamount to contempt. But as a bar, we cannot get involved in investigative journalism. Those issues would have to be dealt with by persons who have complaints through the General Legal Counsel, because
Sylvester had this to add.
Normally in disciplinary proceedings, the bar will have a say, either in filing submissions in relation to those matters. So we cannot get involved at a preliminary stage because we may be conflicted. So once the matter is filed with the General Legal Counsel, the counsel will decide upon what route it will take and whether or not they would like to have any input from the Grenada Bar Association. But complaints in relation to lawyers are channeled via the General Legal Counsel Secretary, who is the Registrar of the Supreme Court.
According to reports, the conduct of the female attorney came into question on multiple occasions. As far back as December 2014, the High Court has brought forward a decision that the conduct of the female attorney be referred to a disciplinary tribunal where a determination could be made on whether she should be suspended from practice or struck from the role for professional misconduct. The decision was finally made to strike her off the books by a local legal body after a review was done. Chrislina John, GBN News.
The GBN is charting new territories tonight, tackling the issue of climate change and its effect on local resources. Joseph Cador has been speaking with Godfrey Augustin, the brainchild behind the initiative, and how this issue, which has been commanding attention of world leaders for decades, can be addressed locally.
Climate change refers to long-term shifts in temperatures and weather patterns. These shifts may be natural, but since the 1800s, human activities have been the main driver of climate change, primarily due to burning of fossil fuels like coal, oil, and gas, which produces heat-trapping gases. It would be pretty hard to dispute that the average global temperature for Earth isn't increasing. There are numbers that prove that. However, it is still a controversial subject because many people do not believe that humans are causing global climate change to speed up, as some scientists are suggesting. Host of our Climate Reality, Godfrey Augustin says these varied schools of thought makes the conversation a timely one.
Climate change is a very critical issue. If you think it's not affecting us, well, just look around and you see what is happening. More intense hurricanes. Our dry seasons are becoming drier, so to speak. Our rivers are drying up. Our coastlines are being severely eroded. This is not just happening by chance. Of course, there is natural climate change, but there are other forces that influence these changes. And so tonight we start the discussion on climate change, looking at everything in detail.
Further to this, Augustine says our Climate Reality would seek to inform and educate the populace.
But tonight, our premier program will focus heavily on climate change, what it is, so that people can have a good understanding of what we're talking about. We hear those terms. We hear climate change. We hear global warming. We hear sea level rise. All of these things. Do we really understand what is it that the scientists are talking about? Well, tonight on the program, we have a meteorological forecaster from the Maurice Bishop International Airport, Mr. Gerard Tamer, and we have a climatologist from the Caribbean Institute of Meteorology and Hydrology, Mr. Cedric Van Meerbeek. So he will go into detail on climate change, explain it, what it is, and of course we will also look at the difference between weather and climate patterns, variations in weather patterns. All of these things will be looked at. in detail so that going forward, our viewers and listeners can actually follow and make sense of the discussion.
As the earth is the source of all livelihoods, it isn't just good for us to take care of it, it is our responsibility. Season 1 of Our Climate Reality runs every Wednesday at 8 p.m. until April and will be aired on GBN Television, Classic Radio, and all our social media platforms. Joseph Kador, GBN News.
The Agriculture Ministry is moving forward with plans to establish a functional policy and curb the high food import bill. It's one that has been touted for years. However, a senior agriculture officer says a number of initiatives are earmarked for implementation. Christina John has more.
So one of the very first things that we're going to do is that we're going to have a national symposium on the creative industries in Grenada. And we're going to have it under the theme Unleashing Grenada's Creative Power. And that symposium is going to be organized by the Office of Creative Affairs, which is now being established. The objective of that symposium is to raise awareness of the power of the creative economy in Grenada, its potential, its challenges. We want to exchange ideas, experiences, and very importantly, we want to chart a way forward as regards the framework, the institutional framework that needs to be put in place for the development of the creative industries in Grenada. So we want to bring together the creative practitioners, the eminent international and regional speakers, other stakeholders such as bankers, educators, policymakers, the legal professionals, to share their experiences so that we could chart the way forward for the development of the creative industry. We expect that the format would be presentations and then there will be record sessions. And that session, that symposium, we plan to have it at the end of March. It's a 4-day session at the end of March this year. Also, as regards the creative economy, we would work on Grenada's national cultural and creative industry policy strategy, and as well the relative legislation. And that is very important for driving and shaping the direction of this sector. We're going to have some very special fiscal incentives to assist those who are involved in the creative industries. Those incentives include 100% concessions on CET and VAT for selected equipment for a period of 12 months. And this we hope to start by March 1st. We also want other creative industries to provide increased access to financing and technical assistance for all those who are involved in that industry. So we're going to establish a Creative Industries Development Fund. And as indicated in the budget, we have an allocation of $2 million. We hope to launch this fund in the first half of the year, and through it, funding will be provided for all those who are registered, all businesses who are registered to get support in the area of exporting their goods and services and for content.
Booked out hotels and guest houses and practically sold out events are a pretty good indicator for how well revelers are prepared for Carriacou Carnival. Rena Pierre-Thomas, who's been speaking with an organizer of the festival, which is just a few weeks away. She'll tell us more.
The build-up to Carriacou Carnival is running smoothly, says organizers of the events, as the upcoming activities are anticipated by many. John, chairperson of the Carriacou Carnival Committee, says that the next major event carded is a cocktail and award ceremony on February 6th, followed by the Kiddies Carnival on the 12th.
So we'll be doing the Junior Sokamona competition and DJ competition together with the Kiddies Carnival on the 12th of February, and that is scheduled to take place at the Hillsborough Recreational Ground. Thereafter, the Wednesday, we have the final road show where you see the artists will be dipping for the different position in the different competitions, the Calypso, the Groovy, and the Soca. 16th of February, we call the Majestic Thursday. We have 6 beautiful young ladies, Grapevine from Carriacou Carnival 2023. That's one of the most anticipated shows. We have one person from Grenada representing Grenada, Baltazar, and we have 5 persons from Carriacou. On the Friday, we have the Power Sokamuna, and that will be Friday the 17th. The 19th, we have the Calypso and Groovy Finals, and all the 4 shows is scheduled to take place at the Hillsborough Recreational Ground.
The activities will culminate on Carnival Tuesday with the traditional Shakespeare Mass and the Tuesday night Mass, says John.
On Monday morning, we have the most unique Juve in the world. That's Juve in the streets of Hillsborough. Starting time will be from 5 a.m. And later on during the day, we have the city parading of the fancy mass, Man's on the Street. And later into the evening, we have the Monday night mass. On Tuesday, we have the unique Shakespeare. We have the participants from Mount Royal, Top Hill area, Sixers and Brunswick, and the younger ones will be ending the mass in the streets of Hillsborough. So we're asking persons to come out and support the Shakespeare, most unique to Carriacou Carnival. And in the evening, we'll see the final parading of the fancy mass on the streets and the last lap.
John says that while there is some support from the private sector, more is needed. She noted that they foresee visitors coming from neighboring and international countries, as most hotels and guest houses on the island are fully booked. Carriacou Carnival this year is celebrated under the theme Reminiscing on the Past, severing the moments, creating endless memories for Kayak Mass. For GBN News, I am Rena Pear Thomas reporting.
The need for a review of our school facilities is being underscored by one principal in the south of the island. He spoke with our newsroom about the problem and how he is trying to be creative to ensure learning is not hindered.
Overcrowding is one of the issues plaguing many educational institutions on the island. The South St. George government is one of those schools considered overpopulated, which means the school has surpassed the intended capacity. This learning institution has 400 students, leading to cramped classrooms and reduced learning space. Principal Davis Adams says they are proud of what they have accomplished despite the challenges.
Just overcrowded classrooms, making it difficult to be able to function in the best way possible as a teacher. But nonetheless, teachers are creative and they're able to get through. As a matter of fact, if I were to speak about the schools, how the school has served our boys and girls, I am proud. I mean, the successes that we've had in a holistic way, whether academically, on the sporting field, culturally, I mean, the school has done well. So notwithstanding the crowded nature, the overpopulation, I mean, the staff has to be given credit for how much they have served.
Parents are normally encouraged to place children in schools within proximity to where they live. However, according to Adams, South St. George is unique in that the school's population stretches beyond the immediate surroundings.
Our population net, is very far. We have students from St. John, St. David, St. Andrew coming to our school. And it's because, parents are working in town. So in some cases, the parents are working in town, and it's more convenient for them to come with a child because they have no one to look after them if they're in the country, to take care of these kids. So it's easier for them. So all those are dynamics that have contributed to our school having a population that is very far apart, very spread. So it's not.
The Ministry of Education, Adams says, is aware of their situation. Our news desk engaged Chief Education Officer Ms. Angela Finley on plans to address this as well as other issues. She told GBN that they are aware of the rural to urban migration issue and that of overpopulated and underpopulated schools. She says while there are no immediate plans specific to South St. George Government School, the ministry has always taken a policy decision to review and take appropriate action as necessary. She adds that presently, refurbishment work is being undertaken on the facility. Christelina John, GBN News.
How creative can you get with wood, plastic, or metal? Well, tonight's I Saw captured the creativity of students. Rena Pear Thomas has tonight's submission.
A good eye captures all. GBN Eyesore is brought to you by Clear Vision.
Life is beautiful if only you can see it. Clear Vision Eye Center helps you do just that. We provide expert service, classy eyewear, and cutting-edge technology, all with a quality customer experience. See better, feel better, and look better. Meet us today at clearvisiongrenada.com or call 444-0055, WhatsApp 409-0055, or follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Clear Vision Eye Center. Let's see life and the world with a clear vision.
Tonight's Eyesore was inspired by teachers of the Uganda Matters Catholic School who shared pictures of their grade 2 students and the craft they made from different types of materials. The students made the items from paper, metal, wood, and plastic as part of their general science project this week. Moments like these are worth capturing and sending to us via WhatsApp at 405-3052 or our other social media platforms.
Paging all Grenadians at home and in the diaspora to be part of the journey to 50, reflecting on the past, planning for the future as we get ready to celebrate our 49th anniversary of independence. Tuesday, February 7th, 2023. Events to be observed for our 49th anniversary of independence include table tennis tournament at the CSA building, February 3rd and February 4th. Independence Calypso Finals, Sutter's Bus Terminal, 8 p.m. February 3rd, February 4th. Open water swimming competition, Grand Mall Beach at 9 a.m. and beach tennis at Grandans Beach from 11 a.m. Also the Independence Boxing Tournament, February 4th, 8 p.m. at the Youth Center. National Independence Church Service, Grenada Trade Center, Sunday, February 5th, 3 p.m. National Colors Day, the Inter-Ministerial Display, and the 49th Cultural Extravaganza, 7 p.m. at the Granville Bus Terminal, February 6th. Then the Made in Grenada Expo, Military Parade, and Rally, 10 a.m. at the Kirani James Athletic Stadium, Tuesday, February 7th. Happy 49th, Grenada.
Delivered to you via Superb Service. We are Superb Distributors, wholesalers and authorized agents for trusted products you know and love, like Rika Juices, Pure Heaven products, Bibbin Diapers, New Bright Laundry Detergent, Allegra Pasta, and more.
Contact Superb Distributors at 435-2948 for superb quality and service.
Total is one of the world's largest oil companies with a top quality line of lubricants. Total Lubricants has a full product line from passenger cars, motorcycle, heavy industrial equipment, mining, trucking, agriculture, and manufacturing machines and vehicles. Total Lubricants, winning championships in motorsports, including Formula One and World Rally Championships. Total Lubricants are available at all Rubis service stations, leading automotive shops, and distributed by Huggins.
Rep your colors. Hot 98 presents the 473 Colors Boat Ride. Going on Saturday, February 4. Get your tickets now at gotofeb.com for only $65. Food included. Boarding time 7 p.m. The boat sails at 7:30. Music on board by the Hot 98 DJs plus other guest DJs.
Baby, calm down, calm down.
Rep your colors on the boat, cause this one here is gonna be epic. Lock the date, Saturday, February 4th. Hot 98 473 Colors Boat Ride. Don't you miss this.
Did you know that our changing climate is disrupting weather patterns and continues to cause more intense weather systems? Did you know that at least 3/4 of natural disasters are water-related and their intensity and frequency is increasing? Did you know that rising sea levels can cause our fresh water to become contaminated or salty? These are just some of the realities that will be examined in our new series, Our Climate Reality, which premieres on Wednesday, February 1st from 8 p.m. on all GBN platforms. Our Climate Reality will engage local, regional, and international stakeholders in this fight to preserve our planet and our most precious resources. Our Climate Reality, brought to you in part by the Grenada Climate Resilient Water Sector and Habats.
To see my granddaughter.
Welcome. It's 9 minutes after the hour, 7 o'clock, and of course it's time for the conversation. And as I hinted to you earlier this morning, what we'll be looking at, all right, two things that I want us to really focus on this morning. However, you know the way we roll, I will not debar you from, talking about something that you think it's pertinent. However, having said that, I would prefer that we sort of zero in on the suggested buzz. All right, the first thing that we're going to look at this morning is the stopping of brain drain. All right, and we hear that government is laying out strategies in an attempt to stop the bleeding of the human resources in the health sector. Well, in my opinion, it's not just health. People from all walks of life are looking to head to greener pastures, and that's something that we would want to curtail, So the television producer is going to run that clip, and then we'll talk about it. All right?
In 2022 and 2023, 37 nurses and nursing assistants exited the health sector in Grenada as the sector continues to experience hemorrhaging in human resources. As a means of stopping the bleeding, the ministry is now planning a retention strategy to be approved by Cabinet. This announcement was made by Permanent Secretary of the Ministry of Health, Desiree Stevens, during government's post-cabinet briefing.
In 2022, we would have seen an exit of approximately 31 persons within the nursing sector, including nurses and nursing assistants. And so far in 2023, we have seen 6 already, and these are due to retirement, resignations, and termination. In addition, the ministry is currently developing a retention strategy for our medical personnel, our physicians, and our nurses, as a measure to try to retain them within the public service. So within the first quarter of 2023, a retention strategy will be developed that will be forwarded to Cabinet for its approval.
The PS says they are also seeking to fulfill numerous vacant positions within the health sector.
Also, training for our physicians in specialized areas. As you are aware, we have a number of Cuban specialists who are providing support to our hospital services and have been doing so over the years. We felt it necessary that we need to train our own and provide specialized training for them in various areas. Funding for specialized training for our nurses in areas such as ICU, nephrology, oncology, psychiatry, etc. And we're hoping to have a number of nurses trained in these specialized areas, starting maybe as soon as the first quarter of 2023. Also, as part of the budget,
proper training and development of the workers presently in the sector is also a key element of their plans.
We would have had approval for 21 mission-critical positions, which we are seeking to fill along with other vacancies that exist within the Ministry of Health for areas such as epidemiologists, radiographers, facility managers, phlebotomists, pharmacists, cashiers, etc. And you may ask why cashiers? We've had a serious leakage over the years in revenue collection within the hospital, and we found it necessary to have cashiers in place who would be responsible for 24-hour revenue collection at the hospital.
In December of 2022, Health Minister Honorable Jonathan Lackret says government's honorarium to nurses in the amount of $500 per month serves as an apology, not for tomfoolery. He said it also serves as a discouragement to immigration.
Administration, we do not have the time for bare Nancy pageantry. The $500 honorarium was not given to trick, coerce, mama guy, our nurses. If we wanted to do that, we would have given them $5,000.
For GBN News.
Thank you very much. And yeah, I'd like to hear from you. The angle that I'd like to take, is there anything government can really do to minimize, if not totally eliminate, the brain drain syndrome, if you want to refer to it as that? All right. Can government really come up with a plan to deal with that, or is it going to be a mixture of some initiatives or incentives from government along with people's patriotic sense? You know, I'd like to hear from you. What is your take on this? Strategies to be implemented to minimize, if not eradicate, brain drain. Let's hear from you. 435-2041. That's the number to call. And of course, we head straight to the telephone line. Good morning, caller.
Good morning, Mr. Gordon. How are you?
I am alive and thankful. How about you?
We did.
Good. Talk to me.
Hear me. I'm using a little illustration to get to my point. So, but I want to be very short. Say like you have dogs or cats in your household, in your yard. What would cause them to go by the neighbor and perhaps reside there most of the time? Or go out straying?
A number of things could cause that.
Yeah, one of them is the lack of food. So
yes, that's one.
So if you're not feeding them and you're not taking care of them appropriately, of course they would go when hunger took them, they would go. I say this to say that if we need, or if we want to stop a brain drain in our nation, which has been happening so many years now, it's decades now we've been training people for the outside world, first of all, we have to look at our resources in the country that enable us to create the enabling environment to keep our citizens or our human capital. And we must know our human capital. And we must know the state of the nation.
Okay, that's a line from a calypso, right?
Exactly. Exactly.
Nice.
So Calypso is social commentary.
Yes.
And we must listen.
But let me, caller, let me engage you on this, right?
Yeah, go ahead.
In this part of the world, the economies of, let's say, the OECS territories, do you think that any government can really create that environment, that enabling environment that you're talking about, that will deter totally some of the citizens from wanting to go? Because look at it this way, there will always be needs, all right? However, there must be priority, but there's also supposed to be a sense of patriotism. Yes, the grass seems greener on the other side, but what about the country that brought you up?
So you know what that means? Two. Well, the first one is gratitude. And the second one is patriotism. Now, that's a very sensitive subject. And it's something that don't need 2 minutes or 3 minutes. That's something we're going to get into a forum and look at.
Yeah, definitely.
And I'm willing to participate at my fullest.
Okay. All right.
I promise you that. Anyway, let me just wrap up. Now, answering your question, the Caribbean region has strong economic potential, but we are fragmented. And being fragmented and being small is two detrimental factors in inhibiting our economic growth and development. That's one. Two, most of our leaders are self-grandeur. And that drives down to the private sector. That should be the driving force in the national economy. So here we are. We are not sending signals to people who can help us and help us willingly and diligently.
Okay.
Have a great day, my Lord.
You too. God bless. Thank you very much. 19 minutes after 7 o'clock. Just a quick peek at what's happening on other platforms. And just a reminder, those of you who usually use our YouTube channel, the Grenada Broadcasting Network, well, that YouTube channel is back up and running, okay? So please be guided accordingly. Now, this WhatsApp user says, "Good morning, Innocent. Cheers. Another day of life. Well, it's heating up in Trinidad and Tobago for Panorama. This Sunday will be semi-finals at the Queen's Park Savannah, where 28 steel orchestras will compete for a spot in the final." Thank you all so much for that info. Still on WhatsApp, I spoke about, that person responded when I said I'm seeing so many young people dying. This person says, "See statistics on sudden death syndrome." Okay, I'll look that up. All right. Someone says here, "Good morning," and they want to send off birthday greetings to Jocelyn Jacob from Mardi Gras in St. George. Well, may God bless him, good health and strength for many years. The greetings are coming from D. Edgehill, and the Edgehill, and you see the way they write these days, they remove the TH and they just put D, so yeah, I'm mispronouncing things wrong. I'm old school. All right, so greetings are coming from the Edgehill and Jacob families and the St. Paul football team. All right, good morning. Happy birthday to you. And that's Jocelyn Jacob. Happy birthday, bro. I hope all is well. All right, let's go to the telephone line. Good morning, caller.
Good morning, Innocent.
How are you?
I believe I'm good.
Okay, I believe that too.
One of the ways I believe that we can address the situation with the nurses, we know that the salary scale is low. And there are a lot of cases where some of our nurses are seeking housing assistance. And this is one of the reasons why a lot of people migrate, go into greener pastures. They believe they can make more money to build a house faster. In cases where we have the low-income houses available, the nurses or nursing assistants that are interested, let us ensure, the government should ensure that they are at the top of the list priority should be given to them to own one of these houses or apartments so they can be comfortable and remain here to serve us, serve the country, and, enable them to take care of their family. I believe this is something that we probably need to address. The housing situation for our nurses. Let us ensure that, priority is given to them so that they can remain and do what they have to do.
Let me ask you this before you run off, right? Now, this is the pathway to another general conversation. Because if we specifically say, okay, we want to take care of our nurses, as was done in the 2023 budget, where this $500 honorarium was given to the nurses, that in itself, I've had conversations with people in the medical fraternity, and it's creating problems because there are lots of wardens and other people in that realm that are saying, not only the nurses work hard, we work hard too. So why only the nurses? That's a different topic. However,
it's not about the money or the working hard,
Mm-hmm.
We need nurses. We short staff.
Mm-hmm.
Talk to the people that are on the wards and they would tell you how bad it is.
I understand that, but what I'm saying is, if we specifically say nurses, then the teachers would say, so what happened? We're not important too? We're going outside too.
Innocent. If you put out an ad no for wardens, you get in 1 million.
Okay.
If you put out a word for teachers, you might get 1 million and 2. Nurses, they have is a specific training. You can't just pick up anybody. I know of cases where patients in the hospital are saying they don't want the nurse in blue to give them injection. Okay. They have to be trained.
Right.
We're talking about experience. And a lot of the nurses that are going are experienced nurses, qualified nurses. This is what the UK and other islands are paying for.
Right. Okay.
So, $500, that's a drop in the ocean. Yes, the others need it, but it's nurses' time. We need nurses.
Okay.
We need the tender, loving care.
Nice.
Have a great day.
You too, my dear. 24 minutes after 7 o'clock, that is the time. Yvonne Waldron says, good morning from Tobago. Well, good morning to you too. Courtney Yvonne says, good morning, Grenada. Andre Ruan says, good morning from London. Yeah, London. And Janice Let Joseph says, good morning, Grenada. Mary E. Banks, as always, good morning, Mary. Hope you're doing fine. Yulin Alexander says, good morning, Grenada. Happy 49th Independence. God bless our nation. She also says, good morning, Gordon, and everyone else viewing. Have a blessed, wonderful, and safe day, everyone. Thank you, Yulin. Same to you. Andre Adams, good morning, everyone. Blessed day. And my good friend Veronica Sandy, good morning, Gordon Innocent Joseph. Good morning, everyone. I wish I knew 99, or not even 99, 1% of the people that say hi on this thing. But that's the beauty of it. 435-2041. I think we have a caller. Good morning. We lost that caller. 435-2041. That's the number to call to be a part of the conversation. Good morning.
Yes, good morning, sir.
Listen to me, before you say another word. The previous caller, while he was talking, in my mind, I was saying, I haven't heard my economist called me in a while, and here you are.
The angels are with you.
I believe that.
Just keep them there.
How are you doing?
Quiet, and how are you?
I am blessed and highly favored.
Right, stay that way.
Good.
Have a great day.
You too.
No, so very, very important topic there. Now, you're talking about brain drain. I want to be brief. You're talking about brain drain. But thank be to God, the brain drain that has our house in stock in such a beautiful state. Now, there is no brain drain. There is transfer of knowledge, right? People go and people come. You go to somebody, they come to you, and that's why we have hotels here, because we cannot build hotels, so somebody come here to build hotels. We go overseas to do something else. So what we have to do is to maximize. Thank be to God, because if these people didn't come back here, I don't know what will happen, because we are not making provision for the people we educate. You're educating people at a very high level, right? We have too much doctors of everything in this country. Yet where we are, where the education system is supposed to produce people for us, right? The people that you educate, you should find a place to put them. You're not educating people for overseas, you're educating people for here. But if you're not providing jobs and opportunities for people here, what do you want them to do? Stay here and die in poverty? The business people are supposed to expand, not only the government. I said the business people in the first government. The government, as you know, it is the second government, right? So without governance, the business is the first governance, and the civil service is the second governance. That's how we're supposed to have it. The business people are not growing, but there has to be what you call a partnership between the government and the business people to ensure that the economy is right, and so the business people can take the right chances to expand the businesses, to create jobs for the people we educate. Right?
I get your drift.
Supposed to do.
But let me ask you a quick question, right? Where do we draw the line of balance? Because we, as you rightfully say, we are on a literacy drive. Everybody is looking. You can no longer get a job with just ordinary O-level passes. Everybody wants to have a degree nowadays. But is our economy able to accommodate all those degrees that we are getting?
That's what I've been saying over the last maybe 50 years, although I'm not so old. I've been saying this, the economy have to grow to create the jobs for the people you educate. And if we don't understand that, this country is going to shut down. We have to grow the economy. How do we grow it? There's many, many ways in which we could attack the economy. For instance, infrastructure for expansion, right? Expansion of new businesses. I hate to say it, but although we have governments over the years, I believe we never had government. Because those are the things you have to do. You have to think for the well-being of your people, not for yourself. When you go there, it's to take care, to uplift, to bring up, to transform the people below, to bring them up. Right? So we are not doing these things, and now we are in a problem. Who do we blame? We have to blame our leaders and the inability to think and to create those opportunities for the people they educate. Who do you want to do it for you? We are one problem, and that's why people maybe they don't understand me, but some people get upset with me when I talk about the economy. It is the economy that has to do everything. Without an economy, we can do nothing. And if we don't understand that, we'll never be able to get it right.
Crapo smoke we pipe.
Crapo, well, more than crapo. Right?
Have a good day, caller.
All the same to you.
All the best. Good. Bye-bye. 29 minutes after 7 o'clock. That is the time. 435-2041. That's the number to call. Let's go back. Good morning.
Morning, Innocent.
Hi, morning. Welcome.
Morning to your listeners and viewers. You see, I think when we have fully learned, we could create even more confusion. For instance, before the economy was the society, but we have replaced the society with the economy. And having the economy having colonized the society, we're trying to fit the society into the economy, which is stupid and disastrous. But having said that, let me say, the caller before, the lady from Grenville, I want to strongly agree with her in terms of the key role the nurses play. People don't understand, especially coming from the Caribbean and Grenada in particular. A nurse is somebody almost equivalent to a doctor in terms of the kind of training they receive over the years and the role they play. And it means, therefore, that if nurses leave the system, it means the system becomes dysfunctional. The nurses play a key and central role in the health sector.
Okay, caller, let me ask you this.
We have to treat them with respect, and also not as just an ordinary worker. I mean, as she said, you could replace a teacher, you could replace. I mean, but the nurse specialized training, years of training and dedication.
Caller, let me ask you this, all right? And I'm just trying to be argumentative this morning, to get a different perspective on things. We are left with a conundrum. Which comes first, the chicken or the egg? The teacher or the nurse? Who creates the nurse?
Yeah, I mean that is where the issue of the society and the economy comes in.
Nice.
If you have a society, if the society is the supreme rather than the economy, then you will ensure that there's balance.
Okay.
So that when from the start of a person's life, you would create a space and the environment so that they could bring out the best in them. What we do, we putting in things in children. I mean, from the start, rather than bring out what is them. We talk about a lot of things, but why not we examine why more people want to go and study law or some other, well, not so much engineering, but we have seen more in the past. It was doctor, and now it's lawyers, and of course the teachers and the policemen, and them have always been there. Why it is that people have preference for certain areas and not, and why we not encourage more people to in balancing the situation to go into areas like the health sector, because we have treated the health sector with corn and so on.
Okay.
I mean, we have not really, respected the health sector. We have treated with dismay.
Okay.
I mean, I can't even find words. And we have to be careful. And not only that, a lot of the money that we have to pay on debt, when we talk about, your last caller talk about governance, when all the bad debts we incur, which we know we have to pay back, this money could have been paid to develop the health sector. We don't like to touch on that. But let me stop here because, in a sense, the time you allotted is not sufficient for these kind of conversations. So let me not anger anybody.
Let wisdom prevail. 27 minutes on to 8 o'clock. Quickly before we take a commercial break, Sonia Mathlin Scott says, good morning, GBN. Good morning, Grenada, Carriacou, and PD Martinique. Good morning, everyone. Have a blessed and productive day. Same to you, Sonia. Alistair Warwood Sr. says, blessings to us spicy tri-islanders near and far. They say that England trains 20,000 healthcare professionals or personnel annually, and they leave the rest of the training to the foreigners. So they could recruit them away from us after we train ours. Yeah, the law of the jungle. At 26 minutes on to 8 o'clock, we take a commercial break. When we come back, we will be looking at the other substantive topic here, the issue of overpopulated schools and the infrastructure of our education system. We'll look at that when we get back. Don't you go anywhere. Stick and stay with us.
Ultratech gasoline and diesel, available only at Rubis stations.
A whole new level of convenience and comfort awaits you when you shop at Rise and Shine Supermarket and Hardware Supplies, Griffin Lane, Grenville. Convenient, because we are open Sunday to Sunday. We're even at your service on public holidays. Comfort, because we are easily accessible to the physically challenged. Free Wi-Fi is available while you shop, and bags come at no charge. Everyday low prices and excellent customer care. Adequate parking available. We supply everything you can possibly think of. Family and home supplies, fresh meat, vegetables, and personal care products. All brands of cooking gas at affordable prices. You can send in your order, have it pulled, or pick up express.
You ate well, drank and indulged, laughed and had so much fun for the festive season. But now it's time. It's time for some serious detox business at Nirvana Detox Center and Natural Health Store. Start the year right with your health as a priority. Cleanse and flush your blood, liver, and kidneys with quality herbs and supplements. Purchase one of our detox combo packs starting from $100. Purchase a full body detox pack starting from $500. Get 10% off on colonic irrigation. Get a chance to win a free colonic irrigation treatment and product coupons with every purchase. We are located in Grenada, minutes before the Food Fair Shopping Center, immediately opposite the old Capital Bank building in the Regency Commercial Suites. Give us a call at 231-6642 or 418-7115 or visit nirvana.gd for more info. It's time for some serious detox business at Nirvana Detox Center and Natural Health Store. We know real body care. This offer is valid until March 31st, 2023. Terms and conditions apply.
I want you folks to play these 3 games from the NLA. Daily pick 3 cash flow and play with. You will be supporting sports and culture, nation building and our future. So go out and play, folks, make it a must. You will see what the National Lottery is doing for us. When you play pick 3 cash flow and play with, the NLA will support you all the way.
Starting September 30th, Monday to Friday, these 3 games will be drawn mid-morning, 9:45 a.m., midday, 12:45 p.m., and evenings, 7:45 p.m. The National Lotteries, supporting sports, culture, and nation building.
Sunday money day.
All right, good morning and welcome. Welcome back to the conversation this morning. Smith Mildred said, blessed morning to the beautiful people of the Spice Island. Good morning to you too, Smith Mildred. Yeah, good morning to you. All right, as I hinted before we went to the break, we are going to be looking at that clip for the issue of overpopulated schools, and not just overpopulated schools, but the infrastructural integrity of our schools. You know, there are other infrastructure things that we could talk about, but this morning I want to zero in on schools. So the TV producer is going to play that clip and then we'll talk about it subsequently.
Overcrowding is one of the issues plaguing many educational institutions on the island. The South St. George government is one of those schools considered overpopulated, which means the school has surpassed the intended capacity. This learning institution has 400 students, leading to cramped classrooms and reduced learning space. Principal Davis Adams says they are proud of what they have accomplished despite the challenges.
Just overcrowded classrooms, making it difficult to be able to function in the best way possible as a teacher. But nonetheless, teachers are creative and they're able to get through. As a matter of fact, if I were to speak about the schools, how the school has served our boys and girls, I am proud. I mean, the successes that we've had in a holistic way, whether academically, on the sporting field, culturally, I mean, the school has done well. So notwithstanding the crowded nature, the overpopulation, I mean, the staff has to be given credit for how much they have served.
Parents are normally encouraged to place children in schools within proximity to where they live. However, according to Adams, South St. George is unique in that the school's population stretches beyond the immediate surroundings.
Our population net, I mean, is very far. We have students from St. John, St. David, St. Andrew coming to our school. And it's because, you know, parents are working in town. So in some cases, the parents are working in town, and it's more convenient for them to come with a child because they have no one to look after them if they're in the country, you know, to take care of these kids. So it's easier for them. So all those are dynamics that have contributed to our school having a population that is very far apart, very spread. So it's not.
The Ministry of Education, Adams says, is aware of their situation. Our news desk engaged Chief Education Officer Ms. Angela Finley on plans to address this as well as other issues. She told GBN that they are aware of the rural to urban migration issue and that of overpopulated and underpopulated schools. She says while there are no immediate plans specific to South St. George Government School, the ministry has always taken a policy decision to review and take appropriate action as necessary. She adds that presently refurbishment work is being undertaken on the facility. Christelina John, GBN News.
Thank you very much, Christelina. And I'd love to hear from you on that. Should there be a total reformation of the education sector in Grenada as it relates to the infrastructural integrity of the buildings and the administrative aspect of it? I'd love to hear from you. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning.
Welcome to the program.
Thank you. Well, I was just going to talk on the topic before, if it's okay. If not, I'll have to.
No, go right ahead. Go right ahead.
I know we have a problem, like I said, concerning the exodus of nurses, but not only nurses. I would say most profession. When somebody become very professional, be it educational or practical, then there's not much thing in Grenada on institution to sort of keep them here. I think what should be done is something should be done from school, from a certain age, whether the government put some kind of curriculum in place. So you ask the children of a certain age, what would they like to do when they become of age? And you carry out a census on it, and you then find out, then you will know in all the parishes what most of the children are interested in when they come of age. And then you put a system in place where, whether it's Grenadians or foreigners, your investors, you put a system what you would like to be the kind of investment you're looking for the country, in terms of whether it's manufacturing, whether it's agriculture, whether it's plumbing, whether it's mechanics. And you put on a system. So when these kids come up, they have something to go to, something of attractive, whether you're making products to export to the other islands or further on abroad, whether it's nurses that you need to export to the other islands, whether plumbers, whether electricians, whether mechanics. Because if you look at what we have in Grenada here now, and with the children coming out, they have high expectations, but nothing for them. And those who put themselves in a position to achieve the knowledge and the know-how, Grenada has nothing for them. So that's why they have to export themselves and go somewhere else.
All right.
So probably this is something to be considered.
Right.
You put, as I said, you put out for Grenadians who could afford to come and invest, or foreigners who could come and invest, but you have specific things that you're looking for.
I think I heard the Prime Minister spoke about that as it relates to the awarding of scholarships, targeted scholarships. After doing an assessment of the professional needs, then you award scholarships to facilitate that. And I think that's a brilliant idea. But thank you, caller.
Okay, no problem.
Have a good one. In response to this, a WhatsApp user says, Innocent, I do not know why the big fuss of migration of nurses. It is not a bad idea. This makes rooms for upward mobility. Reopen the training school. So if you have room, you have room. Once you can accommodate them, then you have space. There's another someone that says something else here. Let me see. Maybe it's on the Facebook page. All right. Someone was saying something to the effect that they should train a particular number of nurses and have them. Okay. I think it's here. Right. Good. The lady who compared nurses and teachers spoke a wealth of words. Give the nurses the opportunity to be trained at SGU with government paying the expenses. They should make them sign a contract to work in the country for at least 3 to 5 years before they can live. they should train a certain number of nurses per year with intent of retaining them. That's a brilliant idea. That's what I like about this thing, you know. We have a lot of ideas. Good morning, caller.
Good morning, Innocent. Something that really jump out at me that might be so, might appear to be very simple. Something that might be simple as, take for example, cutting of a toenail from, let's say, somebody who is diabetic. If it is not done properly, you know, even that could, the toe can maybe get infected and cause, you know, result in amputation later on. There are cases where, let's say, the ulcers, if they're not properly attended to, you know, in some cases you might find they have what you would call maggots, and even relatives in the home are scared to attend to their very own. And it takes a trained nurse to do that. There are cases where people are afraid of the blood. I've known of cases where people faint. So, you know, that is why you need the people with the proper training to, you know, carry out these jobs. Have a great day. And with regards to the school, I want to compliment the St. George's South. I believe they have a good environment. The teachers there have been doing a wonderful job over the years. And because, you know, people would place their children in an environment where they feel comfortable and they believe that, you know, the work is being done, they're following the curriculum. So this is, in my opinion, is one of the reasons why you might have the overcrowding of this institution. Again, it is government. You don't have to pay too much extra fees, and they're satisfied with the level of work that their children are doing. Have a great day.
You too, my dear. Have a great one yourself. Now, I don't want people to ever think that I do not give nurses the level of recognition that they deserve. As you heard me say on time and time again, hadn't it been for the efficient and professional medical staff, both at the Princess Alice Hospital and the General Hospital, I would not have been around today. I mean, of course, God was involved, but I am eternally grateful and thankful. But I'm just trying to create that sense that there has to be some sense of balance, you know. The nurses and doctors and people in the medical fraternity, what are we without you? You understand what I'm saying? So I'm just being argumentative, and that's intentional, all right? So don't get me wrong and feel that I don't appreciate. I love the nurses. Thanks, Dr. Noel, good morning. All right, Dr. Bernard, Dr. Rodriguez, the nursing team and so forth. Good morning to you all. Big up all yourself. All right, you all are doing a remarkable job amidst the conditions that you have, the deplorable conditions in some instances that you have to work with. So, thumbs up to you. All right. Good morning, caller. Hi. Good morning.
Gordon. my son is a doctor. Right. And I'm proud of him. But you see, no, we have to be analytic, you know, and not necessarily criticizing. Or should I say?
I don't know.
You know, I mean, come on, man. We have good nurses. As I told you, my son is a doctor.
Okay.
But we have to do better than that.
Okay.
In our health services.
All right. Okay.
Okay.
Thank you, caller. Have a good one. 9 minutes on to 8 o'clock. We take a final commercial break, and it gives us a little more time for us to do the wrap. We'll be back after these messages. Don't you go anywhere.
Yes, good day, it's the boy Graphics, and I'm fully endorsing 473 Colors Boat Ride is happening this Saturday aboard the Rum Runner 2. You know the code, get your ticket $65, barbecue included. We boarding 7, we selling 8 o'clock. Graphics and the full team gonna be on the boat and we outside this Saturday. Don't miss it, you know. Rep your color, bring out your family, bring out your friends. Still in the ICs, Rum Runner 2, look out. We're coming, Hot 98 to the world.
You know, one day I woke up and, you know, they painted a set of pedestrian crossing all along the streets. You know, nobody told us how to use that thing properly.
I know how.
You're serious?
Every safe, good driver knows about these things. As a driver, you have to be very attentive. You know you're coming up close to a pedestrian cross, you start slowing down immediately, looking to see if there's any pedestrian on the side getting ready to cross. If there is, you stop on the line that is a certain distance before the crosswalk. Then you would see the pedestrian put their hands out, looking directly at you, indicating that they are going to cross. And only when you have come to a complete stop, that is when they will quickly and safely cross to the other side. And then you continue happily on your journey.
Stop, look, hand out, eye contact, wait for pedestrian to cross. Then you happily continue on your journey.
This message is brought to you by this group of insurance companies, the Traffic Advisory Body, and the Traffic Department.
GBN Television News at 7, a pulse on all things Grenadian. Look out for our new features through expanded synergies with our media partners in Barbados, St. Lucia, Jamaica, Trinidad, and beyond. Capturing the latest in news, sports, weather, and entertainment. Credible, informative. Thank you for making us number one. News at 7, live, Monday to Friday on GBN Television, Channel 7 and 11. K105.5 and 105.9, Hot 98.5 and 98.7, GBN Television Facebook page and YouTube channel, and www.gbn.gd. GBN, with you anywhere and everywhere.
Looking for that injection of vibes and energy, of course? Well, I've got just that. Hi, my name is Gary Mr. Smooth, and I'm inviting you to join me on the Hot Morning Show on Hot 98.5, 98.7 FM. Weekdays, Monday to Friday, 6 to 10 in the morning. I've got a healthy dose of your favorite and most infectious hits sampled with information, news, laughter, and all the other ingredients that go into making the hottest morning show on the radio. The Morning Heat. And while you're at it, don't forget to hit us up on WhatsApp, 435-7517. We've got topics, we've got discussions, calls, voice notes, and so much more. But I can't tell you everything. You gotta tune in. The Hot Morning Show on Hot FM 98.5, 98.7 with yours truly, Gary Mr. Smooth. Kaboom!
All right, it's 6 minutes on to 8 o'clock, and it's the beginning of the end. All right, it's a wrap-up segment. So at this time, you can talk on, wrap up on any of the two topics that we dealt with this morning. All right, a quick look at our Facebook page. Sonia Mathlin Scott says, nurses have been going out to greener pastures to seek jobs because after they were trained here in Grenada, some were placed on contract, in my opinion. Yeah, the contract thing. But nurses migrating, especially to England, is not anything new. That's that's something that has been happening for eons of years now. I want to say good morning to Brenda Bowler out there, Granville area, and also Brian and the rest of the team. All right, someone comments. So, okay. But nurses go and come. If some don't go, what happens to all the young ones coming up? And there will always be that problem, right? What we refer to as brain drain, in some instance, it could just be natural progression because Grenada is small. There's so many people that can be accommodated by both the private and public sectors. But we have so many people graduating from secondary school, TAMCC, SU on a yearly basis. Do we have the capacity to accommodate them or, embrace them in our workforce? That's a big question as well. Good morning, caller.
Yes, Mr. Innocent, good morning.
How are you?
I wonder why is it I cannot get you until you're ready to close.
I don't know.
Anyway, concerning this nursing and this, what we call brain drain, this is not only a Grenada thing. It's not only a regional thing. It's a global thing. And I was surprised when I read that years ago when I was at SDU. I read of all these nurses in particular that were leaving their homeland and go to other countries. And I couldn't understand it. But what I gather in my spiritual thinking, I like to apply spiritual things. I like to look at things from a spiritual point of view. Now, Satan is in control. The Bible tells you that Satan, the God of this world, not that there is no God, but he thinks he is God of this world. He has been strategizing for his plans so that, like during this pandemic, when you had countries where 40% of the nurses were not from that country. And these were the people that was used during the pandemic because they ignored a lot of people and people just died because this pandemic was a thing that was designed to depopulate the earth. So all these strategies, all these things you see happening has a spiritual background, and that's where we are not looking. We are just looking at what we can see, but we are not looking at what we can see with the naked eye, and thus we're supposed to depend on the Spirit of God to guide us. A lot of things that happen in the world is not just natural, it is spiritual. Right. And we have to start looking at those things, and that's why we need to pray. That's why people need to give their lives to Christ. That's why people need to turn to God because of what is happening in the world. This is the age and stage we are living in, the end of the age. And so this thing, we ignore the devil. Oh, we don't want to give him no credit. We ain't giving him credit. We have to know what he's doing in the world because he's there. But we cover him up, and we're just there doing things as if he's only human that's operating, but he's operating in human beings to achieve his goal for the world.
Okay.
So we need to turn to God. We need to look at things from a spiritual point of view, and that's where we're motivated to pray and seek the face of God.
We'll continue to pray for us, eh? No, thanks. All right. Alpha Veronica Fari. Good morning to the Faris out there in Birch Grove. How are you doing? Will Lindsay gone to work already? My real partner from the good old days when teaching was nice. All right, good. Good morning, Innocent. On the topic of schools, there's a word in journalism you called fair comment. I am of the view that this reporter didn't apply the word to her story. They only mention one school when I know there are other schools across the island let me get it right, that are underpopulated or overpopulated. Which one, Alpha? She didn't compare the number of students in that school to any of the other schools, say, for example, in the St. George's area. I wanted to know if that overpopulation exists in St. Louis or even St. George's Anglican. Without the information or the statistics to compare, I would ask, what's the issue? If there are too many students in that school, the onus then is on the principal and other administrative staff to take charge of the situation during the registration of new students. Tell people there aren't any more space. Much ado about nothing. Alpha, you're still a critical thinker, girl. Good morning to you. Good morning. Folks, thank you for being a part of the program this morning. We've come to the end, and it's always a pleasure to hear from you. Your input is always welcome. And should the good Lord spare our lives, I look forward to another engagement tomorrow. Until then, bye-bye. I love you.